we're back with Converge. I am now standing with Jon Rembold, who is the Airports Director for Beaufort County, and it's really nice to see you again. Last time I saw you, we were in a different phase with the airport. But before we go too far, I do want to ask you a couple of questions, because we have 2 airports in Beaufort County that I don't think people really realize. So let's start there.
Okay, great. Well, north part of the county has Beaufort Executive Airport, and as you said, maybe a little bit less known airport, but it's strictly general aviation, so it's private aviation up there. But it's a pretty busy little airport, especially in the spring and the fall with the cooler temperatures. We get a lot of visitors down for golfing, fishing, things like that. So it stays pretty busy.
Really? How big are the jets that come in there? I mean, I'm assuming the private jets that's facilitating that kind.
Right, we do get some jets. It's a shorter runway, so not as many jets, but a lot of the turboprops come in there. So they're carrying, 4 or 5 people at a time, and a lot of golfers coming in to play golf at Secession. So that's a great draw for us. But yeah, this time of year, it gets pretty busy.
Well, then tell us, so that's the small airport that we talked about, but now we're on location at the Hilton Head Island Airport, and this is growing, and as you can see, it's been quiet, but all the airplanes are coming in and out. So tell us about where we are today with this airport.
Well, this port's had a lot of growth in the last few years, and we're kind of in between flights now, but we're in the midst of this construction project for the new terminal. So the new wing of the terminal, I say wing, but it's actually a much bigger building than the one we're in now, is slated to open in April of 2026. So we're very excited about that. It's really going to change the whole experience of this airport. So really just benefits to the customer. Much more room for the customers, better concessions opportunities. So a much better, kind of a comfortable experience for the customers.
So far as it's an experience, it's a larger terminal. Are we facilitating more planes? Or tell us a little bit more about that part of it as well.
Well, that will help sell the airport, I'm sure, when you have new facilities. Folks like to take a look at doing business with you. So right now, the schedule for next year is pretty similar to this past year. But like I said, it's going to be much more comfortable for the travelers, and it gives us something to sell.
And it's going to be exciting. We're going to have this for spring break. We'll have a new airport. That's exciting. And the parking lot will be done, because it's right now when you drive up to the airport, there's construction, which is exciting. Because the last time I saw you, it was a few years ago. I think it might be in COVID, where we just had the plans, just starting to fund it, looking for the funding. And so we were at that phase of it. But since then, you've had many conversations. For me, it's wonderful to have this today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the different airlines that come into the airport. Because a lot of our viewers are, who's coming in, who's leaving, and that would be helpful for us.
Okay, great. Well, we've got the 3 major network carriers at the airport. We've got American, they're kind of our legacy carrier, been here for years and years, and they are our only year-round carrier. So very thankful for everything American does here. Then we've also got Delta and United, and both of them are seasonal. So during the busier seasons, primarily April timeframe to October timeframe is when we'll have all 3 of those carriers operating here. So that's when the vast majority of our travelers come through the airport.
Right. And since we're talking about economic development, because we have JOToole with us, how is that parlaying with his mission and things that he's doing here?
Well, part of our mission is to connect people to destinations. And really the easiest way to do that in an island environment like us, in a busy place, is via air service. So we provide that extra option for folks who are traveling here, whether they're coming for leisure and may discover this place for business, or whether they're traveling in or out of here for business.
Well, as we're growing, now we have FAA, we have all kinds of regulations that we have to look into. So how does that part in this whole development and this expansion?
Well, we call that all the back of house stuff. So we take care of that on the admin side. I would say probably 40% of my life is spent in compliance mode. That's what we do. My job is to know all those regulations and make sure that we're in compliance with it. So we do that without anybody noticing. That's what all airports do. That's our job. So we make sure that that's all transparent for the customer, so that when they come in here, they have a smooth experience.
So you've been you've been here working in this position for 10 years?
12.
12 years. You've seen this we've had dust planes coming through, right? And look at we are 12 years later. So tell us, from your perspective, What do you sense from this growth?
Well, I think it's a statement to the just the viability of the market. I mean, this is the #1 island in the U.S., right, for the 9th straight year. So from a market strength standpoint, it's incredibly important, and there's lots of potential here. So we're excited to see the growth. We've had some steady increases in passenger counts since we increased the length of the runway. We're still a very short airport, but to have the regional jets fly in here is really a game changer because they're just able to reach out to destinations farther away than we used to. So it really changes things for us. We can just open the doors to a lot more parts of the country.
And I guess it facilitates, companies that are coming in, they can get on an airplane and come in versus driving, training. It's a transportation that is easy for everybody to do, correct?
Oh, absolutely. You'd be amazed how many people do business in and out of Hilton Head Island that you may not think of, but they're flying in and out of this airport.
Really?
Absolutely.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about corporate jets.
Sure.
So this is, we also facilitate that whole community, correct?
Right.
So tell us about that.
Well, actually, just before I came over here to do this show, we had some pretty large corporate jets land on. They land and then they transition to the other side of the airport where the private aviation is handled. But these are big jets that if we were to equate them to a passenger jet, they would hold 50 to 70 people. And these are for a few people who come in here to do business. So if that gives you an idea of the caliber of business that's being conducted, we're talking Gulfstreams and Global Express, large aircraft.
Now I'm thinking my wheels are turning here. You're like, who are these people? Marriott, corporate, Hilton, something like that. But that's all exciting for our little island, don't you think so?
Oh, absolutely. And the beauty of general aviation or private aviation is just that. It remains private. And so folks who want to come in and out of the island and do business and maybe not be noticed, that's how they do it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, Jon, we're going to be right back. We're going to bring JOToole back with us.
Great.
But stay with us. This is Converge.